important to our political dialogue that the thought police of Silicon Valley are not determining what voices get through on their social media platforms.
I don't know what Twitter's up to. It sure looks to me like they're censoring people, and they ought to stop it. And we're looking at any legal remedies that we can go through.
All right, so the RNC chairwoman, Ronna Romney McDaniel, calling for transparency from Twitter, while Congressman Devin Nunes, who you also saw there, suggesting legal action as a potential remedy amid allegations of shadow banning, as it's known, by Twitter. Brent Bozell, founder and president of the Media Research Council, is now leading a group of 40 conservative organizations. So he joins us to talk about the action that his group of organizations might be taking. Brent, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming on. Just for people who haven't been, I think a lot of people have been following this story, but essentially what was happening here is if somebody went to search for Ronna Romney McDaniel or a group of others, some number of congressmen in the search bar on Twitter, start typing the name in, it just wouldn't come up. You wouldn't be able to find them as you normally would with other people. So they've been accused of discriminating against conservatives. So what's the action you can take here?
Well, what you can do is I think one of the things you can do is what Congressman Nunes is suggesting we should do, which is to hold hearings to see if they're in violations of Federal Election Commission rules. Look, Twitter has more power to affect the public conversation than somebody with a $30 million advertising campaign. And when you see that now Twitter has been caught not once but twice with the Shadow Banning Act, the first time with employees bragging about how they were doing it to ban conservatives, and now, and it's not just one or two members of Congress, it's Jim Jordan, it's Mark Meadows, it's Nunes, it's Dan Getz. What do they all have in common? They're critics of Twitter. And Twitter's saying, well, it just happens, and we just have to look at our quote-unquote honest conversation model. Now, there comes a point where you say, come on, this is censorship, and you've got to make a national issue about it, and you have to ask the question, are they violating campaign laws?
Now, you tell me this. I was speaking to Judge Andrew Napolitano about this on the air earlier, and he said there's probably not a legal avenue to go down here. It just said, you know, Twitter's a private enterprise. It's very, very tough to get into the business of a private enterprise and tell them how they can run that private business. It's very difficult to do that legally. Maybe just bringing attention to it. You and I are having a conversation about it now. Obviously, it doesn't make Twitter look great. They've since changed this policy, apparently, where now you search for these people, you can find them. That maybe just bringing attention to it and having a conversation is the best we can hope for. Is that fair, or no? You think there is something legal?
Well, I'm not going to overrule the judge on this one. However, I think you can make an argument if it is determined that they are deliberately attempting to affect the political picture, that they are definitively trying to affect the Republican Party in a negative way, then you can look at whether they have crossed the bounds in the world of politics. I think also the fact of the spotlight on Twitter is also a very healthy thing. Look, some of these companies have been out of control, and it's absolutely correct. There has to be transparency. They have to be honest about what it is they're doing. And if you listen to their explanation about this latest go-round, they just go around in circles and circles and circles, saying a whole lot that signifies nothing.
No, I saw that. We're showing three stock. I mean, it's been a rough, not that this is in something you would talk about, but it's been a rough week in general, last week or so, for these technology companies, Twitter, Facebook, we're showing Snapchat, their stock prices. This issue, the censorship issue, Silicon Valley-wide issue, Twitter-specific, how do you view it?
Well, I think it definitely is. It's got to be an issue in there. It's the loss of confidence. When the public has a loss of confidence, the public is not going to want to use these venues unless they have to. You're seeing Facebook is being hurt tremendously by this issue of censorship. And now it's Twitter. And I would submit to you that Twitter is worse than Facebook. So I think it's going to get worse. I hope I'm wrong, by the way.
Yeah, we'll keep following it.
But I don't think I am.
And we thank you for coming on today, Brent. Good to see you. Thanks a lot.